All right. How cool must this feeling be, right? You make a game. You have no clue if anybody's going to like it. No clue if anyone's going to have any interest in it, right? So you put it out there into the world. And not only does it generate interest, but a company comes along and says, we like this so much. We're so inspired that we're going to take it and attach it to a well-recognized, internationally respected IP. Like, how cool must that... Can you stop ruining this for everyone? Editing Joe real quick. I'm not entirely sure why this entire video looks like it came from glamour shots and like from the mall in the 90s, so I apologize for that. I also apologize that I said Mimiji wrong, and I probably even said that part wrong, but I at least know it's not Memoji. So, there you go. Sorry for all you Fruits Basket purists. My fault. Anyway, in for the shine. Here we go. 10 minutes on the clock. Let's have a conversation about Zoo Tiles. A couple months ago, I did a review for Zoo Tiles. Josh, the creator, Josh Bakken. God, I hope that I've never actually asked how to say his last name. Whatever, Josh. It's all that matters. Sent me the copy of the game, asked me to try it out. I got it handwritten somewhere, whatever. He asked me to try it out, and I was like, I saw it. I was like, it's an anime waifu thing. It's like there's a foxtail in the logo. How good of an actual game can this be? And I know there's a whole there's a group no matter what it is, if it's anime, it's fine. I was like, how good could this be? Because I left anime kind of around the time where Fruits Basket was becoming popular. Don't ask why. It's kind of a dark story. But I got out of it. So, how good could this be? And then I tried it. And I was like, crap. I was annoyed how good it was. I was so frustrated that he took the snippet where I was mad and he started posting it everywhere. So, I can't hide and be like, no, I never said that. No, he posted the snippet everywhere. So it's so great to see that Japanime Games worked with Crunchyroll to be like, hey, let's take this and we're going to add Fruits Basket to it. Now, I don't give two crappity craps what I don't really know enough about Fruits Basket to really care about that side of things. And I'll let other anime people be like, get Fruits Basket. Good for you. Good job. Go ahead and get your t-shirt. I'm really just gonna talk about the game itself and the product line a little bit. So yes, it's still annoyingly good. It's still a really damn good game. So, quick review on how that one works. Basically, this is a strategic tile placement game. So you build a deck, essentially, of tiles. And the tiles are going to consist of various actions and reactions and things that you can do, but the real centerpiece of it all are animals. 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 So, I got two of the same. Whatever. There's a boar in here somewhere. The idea is that these animals are essentially compatible with each other. So you're placing them on a board, and you're trying to make sure that you get animals that are compatible with each other as a result. I won't go into the rules. And you want to get them into 2x2 squares at a minimum. And as soon as you do that, you get to score those points. First to 12 wins. Now, there are other cards, there are other tiles. I'm going to say cards probably on accident quite a bit. There are other tiles that are worth a point if something happens. You can also capture animals. You can also just defeat animals on the board and capture them as well, and they're worth a point. But the general idea is that you're trying to get animals into a 2x2 square, and then you score them first to 12 wins. And throughout, additionally in the deck, there are things. There are other actions that you can take that are dependent, that you can use based on the animals that you have down, which is actually a really fun mechanic, like push. Like it's a ram. It says, hey, find a ram that you have and push it 1, 2, or 3 squares, and everything that's in front of everything that's its way gets pushed with it. So there's a lot of board control and board manipulation. Rabbits leap around and make more rabbits for reasons. It's called a rabbit habit. It's great. But there's a lot of flavor in the tiles themselves. But you're ultimately trying to create this. You're trying to just really just get positioned well on a board, and there's so much depth to that. There's an absurd amount of depth to it that I'm still blown away at the kinds of the places I was finding. I did a video. If you watch the previous video where there's a rabbit that's off doing nothing, and I'm about to win a game. It requires a little bit of a sequence to get things into position and to deal with what's on the board, and through just the simple move of I'm going to leap this rabbit over, I'm gonna onesie leap this rabbit into the spot into a spot. Not only was my entire system upended, or not only could my entire system been upended, but I would have ended up losing the game. Now, thankfully, in that version, I actually had the way to stop it. I had a defense for it, but like the fact that was something that came up and we saw it so easily, and we were like, oh crap, that's insane. That's insane that it can happen, and I love that it's able to happen off of something that is so easy to learn. There's not there's not an insane amount of lines of play, but also there very much are. But this game is something that you can teach in like 2 to 3 minutes, and I have not done so, even though I'm at minute 5. But this is a game that you can teach in just a couple of minutes, and you play it kind of, it's a little weird kind of the first time, as is any game, but eventually you start seeing those lines of play and the reactions, and like I can move things in response, and I can set up knowing that I can move things in response, and it's bonkers how good and how fun and how silly it is. And the Fruits Basket version adds some elements, they add some extra tiles and whatnot to it that also make it pretty fun. But it's also really neat. Like, we'll get into the product itself, but like sometimes they're just cool looking, and they're based off of the anime, so you get like these really cool, you get some like really cool art. And yeah, these are actually animals. The original is kind of waifu-y, but so yeah, game wise, I still love the crap out of it. I'm still blown away at how much I love the crap out of it. Now, the thing about Zoo Tiles that is a little bit extra, a little different though, is this isn't just like a board game out of the box. They actually have booster packs where you can expand on this thing also. So this is actually, it's in a way kind of billed as a TCG, which is really interesting. And I was like, how in the world does that work? When we talked about it the first time, he's like, oh, there's going to be booster packs. And I heard that and was like, the hell you say? How the hell is that going to work? Like, these things they're not thin. They're not thin. So like, how in the world are you going to be able to really sell booster packs in a way that matters? That's also going to be like fit well on the shelf. And then I got these are the booster packs. And I was like, oh crap. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. And this actually works. It actually functions pretty well. It doesn't take up a ton of space, and I was impressed. So the boosters, you get 5 per, and you get them in slabs, which is also really cool. And I've taken out, here we go. So you actually get them in like these full art slabs, which is so cool. Like, what a cool idea. So I can either like punch out so I can either, keep it as a slab and keep the full art of it, or I can punch out the tile and use it, which I've done a couple of times. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, that's, what? That's impressive. Now, I don't necessarily know the price point with these things. So that one I'm not entirely sure about. But with these, you can get other tiles that, expand, or, you can get your foily ones. Gotta love the foily ones. All the foily ones, right? So I get ram, tiger, bunny, and I got Momoji, who I guess that's a lore thing. Fruits Basket. I'm really dumb with the lore, and I'm gonna own that. But like, it's another bunny, but this bunny has like effects, or helps with effects. So you can really expand and create. Like, I'm looking through the starter deck that you get is 2 decks that basically have 3 different animals per deck. But I'm already thinking about like a bunny deck. Like, I'm already thinking about like, how do I just make a deck of just these things and try to make it go nuts? And I'm like, I already see like the counterplays to this, which would be a blast. And I'm really excited to like put those together. And I don't think I've ever been able to say I'm excited to put together a game or decks for a game that I can still bring to a bar and show somebody new and say, I'm going to give you this, and I'd love to see you play it. And I'll be fine with that. You can't really say that about a card game. I was like, here's a 60 card thing that's got its own holy crap crazy nuances in it. And I'm going to teach you all those mechanics. And like, there's going to create like this investment of like, well, maybe I want to build my own deck. Like, I feel like I could just make, you want to play with the pigs, or do you want to play with the bunnies, or do you want to play with the tigers? And I feel like I'm going to be fine just telling somebody, like, do you want to play? Like, what do you want to play? I think it'll be okay. I think they'll be fine. The last element of this that was actually pretty cool. So if you play the original starter set, you just had the decks, but in the new one, they actually added scenarios. And this is a crappy one. Hold on, let's do an actual fun one. So they added scenarios as tiles, which you kind of agree upon in like beforehand, which have things like in this case, as long as all players agree to it, have at least one player take a group selfie with all the players in the game, post that selfie, silly marketing, post that selfie, and then everybody who is a part of it can discard a tile and gain 1 point for it. It's just for putting a selfie. Like, all right, that's cute. That's neat. Like, this is not like they can do competitive. You can definitely do competition stuff, but like, it's just fun, silly things. And that's pretty cool. That's really cool. So anyway, if it's something that you're interested in, I think you can play it on TTS. I'm sure there's going to be a comment in the comment section letting me know. But I feel like I'm pretty confident that was a thing. You can also get on their Kickstarter until March 2nd. Like I said, go until March 2nd and kind of pre-order of sorts. But also, you know, it's going to show up in local game stores later. God, I hope so. If not, I know you can get the original starter kit from Japanime Games. That one's absolutely worth it. It's like $20-25. I have no clue about these things, but you don't necessarily need these to move forward, though I'm going to get some just because they're kind of fun. And I really do want to build like more to get decks. Like I want to get more. That's going to be kind of one of the weird things is like you might want to get more than one starter if you really want to customize this. But other than that, it's just a damn good game. Once again, good job, Josh. And there you go. That's your zoo review.